Alright, we'll try for round 2. Come on, pup. Get up here. Or not. Here. Ah, Wiggly. We'll try to have a little more reasonable draw this game. No white mana, only a Force Spike and a Dig, but I'm pretty sure I have to keep this. Pretty sure, eh. It's not great. Yeah, I need that Delta to get white. So we're not going to fire that off yet. We shall wait. Sit on our spike. The rest is kind of nice. Let's see what our opponent's working with over here. Kind of nonsense they're up to. Okay, that qualifies as nonsense, I think. Snip their hand. Scorn, no dragon, so very heavy blue-white dragon deck. Gideon stuff to beat. Don't really care about the enchantment creature kill things. So it's either Scorn Gideon or Dig. Their Scorn is not live. I can Scorn their Gideon maybe. I don't think I'm going to be able to Scorn their Dig though. And they're light on land, so I think I can Scorn the Gideon. This could certainly end up being real bad. We'll take the Dig. Hopefully this works out. I feel like if I take the Gideon, the Dig might just run me over. But maybe like they just have to dig into lands too, so I don't know. It's tough. Maybe taking Gideon's better. Alright, no more dig through time. We'll cross that off. No more Sunken Hollow. We'll cross that off. Now we have a Jace, which they basically have to Stasis Snare if they didn't draw land. We can Scorn that. We can flip our Jace, dress them again, take their Gideon. So either way, this works out pretty nice for me, I think. Well, not anymore. Not anymore. Because now they get to snare my Jace. And then if they have another land, they can just play Gideon next turn. Well, now I have 2 Scorns. But it's not the best answer to Gideon. Why don't I ever draw dragons? It's supposed to be a dragon deck. I don't understand. Alright, well. They're not jamming Gideon, which I think is fine for me. And we'll see if they drew a dragon. Apparently not. So, still no dragons on my end. Dress is definitely nice. Scorn is the next best card if I ever find a dragon, but who knows if that'll ever happen. Maybe I just want the command. So at least then I can stop an Ojutai and get a little value. But that doesn't deal with like Gideon or Dig, so it's kind of tough. But neither does the Scorn really. And if I draw a dragon, then I have 2 Scorns, so it should be okay. Well, then we have a cut. Yep, Scorn. Oh, yeah. Well, they had another snare, I guess. So Scorn, field. Scorn, 2 fields, and a Stasis Snare. Now we have a hard counter. That's excellent. Don't want to get my Dig Force Spikes. We're not going to run that out there. Don't want to just cycle my command. Now I might want to. So I can hit my land drop, have another card in the graveyard for dig. Scatter to the winds. Oh, an Ojutai. Interesting. I think we just ship the turn, because I don't know. I could play Ojutai with score and backup, but I can't use score and as protection when it's on the stack. So I think I'm going to fire off another dig here right quick. Maybe? I don't know. Opponent's kind of pausing at weird times. Then we'll have some counterspell backup. So I know 4 of my opponent's 6. What is this? Yeah. Don't think I'm really going to get a chance to awaken my Scatter to the Winds, nor do I necessarily want to, so I'll just use the more expensive counterspell here. It did show me an Ojutai, though. So now, 2 field, Stasis Snare, Ojutai. We pick up our last dig and another land. And then I think I'm going to fire this dig off, and then I'll be ready to start casting Ojutai. So 2 field, Stasis Snare, Ojutai, random card. Have not seen a Jace from my opponent yet. Obviously not be surprised if those were there. Maybe some Ojutai's commands. Just gonna get basic island, so Bloodstained Mire still has things to fetch. And I think I can just use 2 of the cards. Because then I still have Scorn open, and then there's like another card in my graveyard for a cut, which may or may not matter. So Jace, Clash, Shambling Vent, Foul Tongue. Foul Tongue might not be bad. Now we have another dragon, so we can actually force through our Ojutai if we want to. I'm not sure that I do. But here is Captain Ojutai with double counterspell open. And our opponent's just doing a whole lot of nothing. Whole lot of nothing. Now they're finally cracking their fetch lands. Like a Crux or something? I think we defend. Despite having another Ojutai. Because this ensures that we get a hit in, and then even if this dies or gets exiled, which is more likely, then we still have this other Ojutai in reserve. So Stasis Snare should be coming. We'll clash that for 1. Alright, so 2 fields and an Ojutai. My opponent's hand. Well, we'll take the other end. Can free up the Jace. Odd to see Crux in this deck instead of something like Planar Outburst, considering that our opponent has so many double white casting cost stuff, but people can do whatever they want. Unfortunately, we exiled our Duress. That would be nice. Both our Duresses. Ew. Oh, and I thought we played 4 digs. Apparently we only played 3. Well, maybe maybe I just let this field resolve and utter end that. That might be better than having a flip Jace. Guess black mana might help me cast my spell. Alright. If our opponent is Cruxing, then this should be a safe card to play. Then if he goes for field for 2, we have Scorn, and then hopefully he doesn't Scorn back. If he does, then that's bad times. So opponent has a field and an Ojutai that I know about. All right. What is this? Silk Wrap. All right, another dig. That seems better than a Haven. Alright, another score, and that should probably lock it up. And then should I just jam Silumgar? It's possible we could have a Crux and then draw a score and go with the Ojutai. But then we have follow-up Ojutai. Yeah, I think we want Jam Silumgar. That gives us 2 lethal threats. take control of my Ojutai. And then if they do something like play a Wrath, we counter it, and then he... Well, no, that would not work. I was thinking, like, we could still scorn and cut this vent if he had a way to, like, get through my counterspell and then kill my Ojutai. Yeah. So, pretty unlikely, but still kind of nice. Oh, here it comes. Here comes some... Ooh. Dragonlord Silumgar of your own. Okay, so now what? I don't think anything too terrible can happen if I just scorn this and then he like counters back, then I can cut it. Or if I scorn this, it resolves and then he does something bad. I don't think he can have anything to kill 2 dragons. So we outdug our opponent. Basically it. Nothing too fancy. And then do we want to infinitely obliterate our opponent? I kind of feel like we might, because if we get rid of their Ojutais, then they have so few things for scorn. So we'll try it. Give it a go. So Ojutai's command can probably leave. I think I want the Tassigers. I think I want all the Foul Tongues. I think I want all the counter spells. So what is left? Maybe Obliteration is silly because they have Gideon. Gideon's going to be like the big problem card, I think. That's like the edge that they have in this matchup. Maybe Clash is the worst card, but it feels like I need to Ojutai into counterspells, and like, granted I'm adding some negates, but I still feel like I want the Clash, and it gives me like another good answer to Gideon. Maybe I don't want both Tassigers, but that seems kind of silly. Silumgar and Utterender answers to Gideon. Possible I'm supposed to just cut a Jace. That seems kind of like heresy, but it's entirely possible. Possible I'm supposed to just cut a Foul Tongue, because it's unlikely that they're just going to jam Ojutai and it'll resolve. So yeah, we'll cut a Foul Tongue. We'll be a little greedy. Little greedy. Now we wait. So, play or draw, that's a pretty reasonable question. Looks like our opponent chose to play, which is certainly reasonable. And this is good enough to keep. It's not great. I fully expect Jace to die or get countered. And then maybe our hand's a little awkward. We only have 2 land. But hopefully we're okay. Ah! Brad's trying to steal tickets from me. Our Jace lived! What is happening? What is happening? Alright, what to discard? I feel like Utter End is pretty reasonable, and I want all the scores and all the digs, and I want all the lands. I'll discard Utter End, because if nothing else, I have Jace to maybe flash it back, which might be bad logic, because if I wanted to cast the Utter End, I would want to probably flash it back on something like a Stasis Snare or a Silk Wrap. I guess my Jace is just going to run wild here. Jace has gone wild! Alright. Do we want that second white source? I don't think so. What, yeah, post board, we don't have a ton of stuff. Yeah, I think I'm just banking on me drawing lands naturally off this Jace. You know, or maybe I just like find a fetch land and am discarding real lands to keep the fetch lands, so then I can dig. Not really sure what my opponent's up to here. Just has yet to do anything. Boop. And to think, I almost cut one of these Jaces. What a fool I am. What a fool. Opponents, how do you plan to beat this active Jace? Okay, now we have a bunch of counterspells. Ooh. Ooh. It's going to be tough to lose this one. If I lose this one, I have done something horribly wrong. Do I just let that go? I think I just let it go. I mean, I want to loot. I'll probably just mill myself for one. That's fine. I think he wants me to try and flip it so he can Silumgar it. That's probably what's going on. God, the fourth Scorn? Am I really going to discard a dig here? Or is dig better than Scorn? Like, how much am I going to need this dig if I have the prerogative? But then again, if I have to Scorn something, I can't prerogative this turn, and I might want dig to be 2 mana on a turn where I'm also casting multiple Scorns. So yeah, I think I just ship a Scorn. Which is fine. That was my plan anyway. It was to just mill myself for one. It just ended up being a good card, but I think in the game ones, it's a little bit weirder because you only have a finite number of counterspells, and now the post-board games have things like negates and like more duresses and stuff, so the counterspells are not as valuable, but in game one, it's like you might go through your entire deck and use all of your counterspells, so Oh, and our opponent's not doing anything. That is convenient. Ship it. Ship some crads. Give me some duresses. That's a duress. That'll do. Another prerogative. Just go infinite. What are you working with, good sir? Puppy, what are you doing? You just hanging out? Scorn revealing Silumgar. Oh, look! I figured it out. And now I don't have to discard. Oh, that was bad. I thought he was scoring my score, and I was just going to clear down the stack a little bit, but he scored my duress again. That's fine. It's possible that duress just hits nothing really relevant anyway. And also, I could use my mana to duress him, or I could make them commit mana and have me scorn it. So I think this probably works out better. So now I know they have Dragonlord Silumgar and 2 randos. And now I'll get to dig with Scorn back up if I want it. Or maybe I'll just have to fight over this Gideon. Try to make sure to reveal the same dragon, because that'd be kind of awkward. Another Gideon? Ah, dig. Little Diglett. Can't really be too surprised about that when I milled over the 4 Scorn, so... now I think we can just jam Ojutai. This might just be worse than drawing cards. We'll see. It's possible I should have just let the Gideon hit and then play Silumgar, but whatever. Yeah, like plussed it might have been kind of awkward, because then he could, like, cast the dig, I'd have to counter it, and then he'd untap, maybe kill my Silumgar, and have a Gideon. It would be a 1 loyalty, because I would probably make an emblem, but then he would still have a bunch of Knight tokens. Our opponent is Hellbent. I guess I should have cast Dig then. This is probably good enough to win me the game. Opponent does not seem to think so. Any negates? Tasker, that's not bad. Get rid of these utter ends. Duress. I guess Prerogative Dig, since we have copies of those cards already. And then we can activate Tasker, hopefully pick up a Scorn. And then we know our opponent has Crux instead of Planar Outburst, so we can overextend a little bit. And yeah, Tasker was just going to do a bunch of work there. So, We defeated the mirror. Doesn't really tell us anything about whether or not our deck is good or not, but we got 2 rounds left. Hopefully we can draw some conclusions.